Get this show on the road here. We want to thank you all very much for showing up to meeting of the Santa Barbara Real Estate Investor Association, and Linda Leogas has graciously brought this whole thing together along with Nicholas, who is giving us free pizza today. It's very, very nice. So I want to thank you for doing that, for everybody showing up. Thank you very much. And it's a little bit smaller venue than we thought. We had about 37 or so people. Although it may be a little bit small, as I said before, we may be small here today, but we're big on the internet, right?
Absolutely.
So that's where it's all going to end up. So what we've got here is Santa Barbara Real Estate Investor Association website. This is the main site. And we do have a blog site, so you can get to the blog site from the main site, scroll down. Everything that we do gets videoed, it gets put up, information about the meetings and everything's on the blog site. So there's this is the place that you want to look if you're wondering, what's going on, when's the next meeting, who's showing up. It usually takes me about a week or two to get the videos from the last meeting up, and so we had a meeting about a week and a half ago, something like that. And we had Michael McNair from IRA Services, so that video, all those are up there now and operational and accessible. We also, when we put that up, it goes up to YouTube, so that's the YouTube link, which you can get from the blog site. Somewhere along here, meetings on YouTube, so you just click on that and away you go. You're over to the YouTube. And then we've got an educational page on here that I'm starting to put up what I feel is, fairly important information that you should be kind of focusing on as far as what investments and what kind of education you're getting and the information. All the speakers that we have in here end up on the blog site. You'll always have access to that. This is kind of a little bit more what I consider to be somewhat special that you really need to zoom into and think about and check out. So that's an important link there. Now, next, or at the end of this month, which is June, I guess it's maybe June 27th or 30th, I'm not quite sure what the last Thursday of the month is, but we're going to bring in some speakers. We're going to talk about the Personal Power Project and how we can actually reduce our monthly expenses by going green. And so we're going to have a number of people in here, and one person I'd like to bring up right now is my national energy leader, Dan Brown. Talk a little bit about the Personal Power Project. Again, I want to stand over here.
Okay, I want you to guide me.
Okay, I can do that.
I'm in the way.
So you need to be over here, and we're going to actually go to the internet.
You need a wand.
Yeah, we're going to have that too.
I wish I had a wand.
I got one for you. So, okay, let me get over to the internet. And let's see here. Find it. There we go. That's not it.
So while you're doing that, I'll just say how we kind of had. I was in Santa Barbara many years ago. My father-in-law got sick, and I was taking care of a bunch of people, and then I got sick. And so I was in LA, and I got past all that, and so I came back to Santa Barbara because I was in construction. I had a small contractor, and basically, to cut it short, is there's just no business out there for the way we used to do things in construction with the new economy. So I've been tracking renewable energy for about 5 years. I was watching what the United States Department of Energy said, what they're going to do, because you can go to the Department of Energy website on your internet, and you can see the entire United States plan there of what they're doing. Okay, and they want us to learn that because there's lots of businesses that can be started from there. So basically, my role is I'm a national renewable energy leader. I teach companies about the new economy. So basically, I teach people to teach them to teach others, sort of. Okay, that's kind of my national role. But I'm also the vice president of a company. They're going to be up here next month. We're working on a wonderful program that we're going to sell to the state of California. And it's through an on-the-job training program where it's a national program, but locally and in California, it's called the on-the-job training program. And the United States, through stimulus funding, will pay a person's wage up to 6 months. Okay, and that's all through stimulus funding if they train them for renewable energy. Okay, so here, that's a great way to get somebody back to work in the community. And right now, on our website, you can find it. Somebody's marketing it, some private company. There's 5 million jobs available right now in this industry. What's not in place is the knowledge, the training, the infrastructure. Okay, there's not a lot of us out there. So next month, I'm gonna try to. I didn't know what I wanted to offer because I know I can offer how to go solar at no cost and never pay anything. But I'm not gonna offer that product right now. Okay. But I can show you how to do it reasonably, affordably. Can you go to the form right here?
Okay. So
what you do is you go here. Okay, look, I want you to know it's never going to cost anything. There's 2 things you need to know about big business. The 2 things are the reason you pay for something is because you need it and they monopolize it. That's why you pay for it. The other thing is that I found, and maybe you did too, you ever grabbed the newspaper and somebody raise your hand and tell me you did? It says money to land, money to land, money to land. Anybody ever seen that?
Yeah.
How does that work? Does that really work?
So,
Tell me.
seldom.
Right, it's very rare. So, here's the question I just want to ask real quick. The banker's going to be here next month.
Actually, at the end of this month, which is June, so the last
Which one is it?
The end of this month, we're in June now, so it's going to
We
be...
are?
Yeah.
I'm so busy, I don't even know what day it is.
We're in June, and so it's going to be the end of this month, the last Thursday, which might be the 27th. I'm not quite sure. I'd have to pull the calendar out. But that's going to be the next meeting, which he's going to bring bankers and different people here to talk about this.
Yeah, we're going to have the Flannery Group here as a project manager. They're on the site. We're going to have the banker here because I have ways of working with the banks when I design bank products. I design investment products. So if you come to me and say, Dan, I want to do this, I can design it. I can guide you to the bank, get the funding, especially that stimulus funding is now in the bank, right? Right? The complaint's been, where's the money? Where is it at? Okay, it's in the same place that your parents taught you when you were little. Where was that? Don't give it away. I talk to you every day. What was it called? It was a little tiny thing, and what's it called?
Piggy bank.
A piggy bank. Okay, take the word piggy out. What do we got?
Bank.
Where's the money?
In the bank.
Right. It's not in the newspaper. It's not in some ad. The money's in the bank. Now, how do you get money? If the money's in the bank, how do you get it?
Rob a bank.
Okay, we're going to go to jail. That's okay. He's got it, though. That's how you get it. But guess what? He's got to go to jail. So I'm sure you don't want to do that, right? So how do you get money? So if getting money illegally puts you in jail, then how do you get money?
Legally.
Right. Legally. So here's how you get money. Federal process. Got it? Federal process. That's how you get money. Who makes the money? Yell it out loud! Who makes the money?
The government.
That's right, government. Who controls the money?
The reserve.
Who do we pay taxes to?
IRA.
Who do we all work for? Right, you don't work for the person down the street. I ask people, who do you work for? And they go, well, I work for so-and-so down there. Now, it's true, we do. But then I say, no, you work for the government, just to play a game, right? And then they say to me, no, I don't work for the government. Oh yeah, let me see your taxes. Who do we pay taxes to? The company we work for, or we pay the government? Okay, so we work for the government. All right, so let's go here real quick so she can talk.
Okay, so the form, all you have to do is get to the website, click on Go Green Economy.
Go Green Economy.
Okay, so we do that.
And then while he's doing that, I want to ask you, what's the #1 reason a bank will let you use the money in there if it's the federal government? What's the #1 reason?
Going green.
No. #1 reason. That's okay. We're going to go green. That's a service.
Job.
That's a service. I can't walk into the bank and get the money out, but I can do it if I go green. Got it? That's a business. Go green, get the money. But what's the #1 reason?
Job.
No. So if you walked into the bank and said, what's the #1 reason that you would give me money?
They get the interest.
Okay, we're going to do 2 more, and then I'll say it.
You don't need to make money, so they can make money.
Cash flow is the #1 reason you get money. Got it? So if you can figure out how to cash flow something, what are you going to get? That's the #1 reason a bank will give you money. And I'll tell you what, I asked a banker one day, I said, you mean you don't care about equity, you just care about cash flow? And he goes, that's right, I don't care about equity. I want cash flow. So take the bank's brochures and throw them out.
Oh, whoa,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm just excited. Okay, so I can buy that with bank money. I'm sorry for throwing it. But anyways, it's cash flow is why it's the #1 reason why you get a margin. Okay, so unfortunately, we have to do business to make and get money. It would be much better if they just gave it to us, right? No, they gave it to the corporations, they gave it to the banks, and now they have all the money. So our program, and thanks to Dan for allowing this platform, this program and Dan's site, when I saw that, I thought this is a citizen-driven website. I met a person that's citizen-driven, like me. We're all citizens, and I saw that, I thought, wow. And then I paid him just briefly for some marketing, because he helped me with my computer. And then he kind of saw what I was doing, the man that he is, which is great. Calls me one morning, I'm laying on the couch at night, and I'm saying to myself, man, my wife wants this from me, and my parents, everybody wants a piece of me. I mean, come on, has he ever experienced that? Everybody wants a piece of you, and I'm laying there, I'm going, can I just not have that happen? And you didn't know that. The phone rang the next morning. Guess what you said on the phone? Dan goes, hey, I like where you're going. We're of the same mindset, so you know, I want to help you out. Imagine that. And so in the morning, I was able to say, wow, somebody wants to help me. Now I'm going to help them, and we're going to help everybody else. That's just the way it works, okay? So for right now, what we're going to show you is try to get you to come at the, what's the date?
The end of the month, the 27th, last Thursday of this month, and it's going to be a green technology meeting for the Santa Barbara REIA, and we're going to have Dan here, some bank people.
And this is what I propose. How are we going to get this room so filled up that we're going to have to move from here and go to another building? Okay, that's my goal for you. All right, if I can help you do that, I would like to. It's going to drive a lot of business for you. It's going to drive a lot of business for these people here. So this is what I recommend, is if you can bring 1 or 2 people with you next time, let's go through this form real quick. I'm going to show you, if you fill out this form, you can do it now, or we're going to show you more and train you how to do it. There's never a cost. Never a cost. If you have something good, and you're holding the diamond, you don't have to pay nothing, ever. You've got it. You've got it. You've got it in your hand. You've got the diamond. And people sometimes just hand that to somebody else because they don't know. Okay, so we want people to come to know